How's it going, guys? Tom here, and we're back for episode number 16 of Showdown Slam. And what this means is we're on the start of our second week with Jamie Boyt's updated Worlds team. And yeah, we're getting off to, I guess, a fresh start. We didn't end the week with the best of results. I think we actually only won 2 in 6. So yeah, definitely looking for some improved play this week and seeing what we can do with this team before we move on to the next one. I'm also going to take note of where we are at the start and end of each week as well, just to track progress. So I think we're about 1292 on the rankings at the moment. So definitely looking to push into the 1300s and then ongoing after that 1400s. And also my main target is to try and get at least a 60% win-loss ratio and then try and bump that up to 66%. And then after that 70%. So we'll see how we can progress with that as well. It's certainly not something I am expecting, as I am chopping and changing teams very often and only getting, I think, a maximum of, well, we're playing 15 games a week, so we're playing about 30 games per team, so it is a lot of changing and not a lot of consistency there. So maybe that's more of a dream for other accounts that I'm using. But we are going to get into this first game. And it's against a, I forget that name of that Pokemon. It's a Giratina, that's it. And Ho-Oh with 2 Genies and Kangaskhan and Ferrothorn. So not a team I've come up against with any of my teams so far, I don't think. Certainly a very interesting one as well. So how do I want to deal with this one now? I feel like Scrafty could be very good. Quick guards are very nice against prankster users like Thundurus, but not fake out users like Kangaskhan, but intimidators at the same time. Very nice. I feel like Gyarados does quite well against this team, as does Arcanine. Arcanine maybe not so much against that Landorus. If we can take that out, then that's great. Maybe we lead with Rayquaza here, and that way we can at least get Icy Wind Chip onto it. And ooh, yeah, let's go with Rayquaza. Gyarados is nice though against this team as well. Obviously it's just that Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn has given me a big problem with this team. So we'll have Arcanine in the back, I think. Excuse me. And then we can bring that in whenever Ferrothorn, if it does choose to come in. My opponent really has quite a lot of viable options here. We can intimidate things as well if we need to, and we'll have Xerneas in the back. Maybe I don't bring Xerneas into every game because there is a lot in this team that counters Xerneas, and perhaps having just the one restricted is the option sometimes. So Thundurus is going to want to spread fake outs here. What I'm going to try and do is fake out the Thundurus. Kangaskhan could fake out the Scrafty, which is fair enough. I won't be able to quick guard against it anyway, and my fake out won't do anything. So yeah, we'll go for that, and we'll also we'll Mega Evolve, and we'll go for an Icy Wind here and slow both of these Pokemon down. Let's see what happens. I always feel a bit funny about using Rayquaza as a lead, simply because it can't protect, so fake out is a big target onto it. Thundurus could easily paralyze it as well, so maybe something I should have borne in mind. So yeah, Kangaskhan does get the fake out and it crits the Scrafty as well, which isn't nice at all. And then the obvious Thunder Wave into Rayquaza there. So Kangaskhan speed does drop there. What we can do is go for a low kick into the Kangaskhan. And I think what we can do is go for another Icy Wind here. Slow down this Thundurus a bit more, in case it wants to do any damage. And this is mainly the reason why I didn't want to bring Gyarados, because of that Thundurus. I feel like this team doesn't deal with Thundurus very well. Okay, so my opponent there predicting the low kick onto the Giratina. What we can do here is go for an Icy Wind. What we can do here, we should be, I'd hope that we're slower now. The Thundurus is slower. It probably is. Okay, so Thundurus is probably going to still be faster than Scrafty. So this Giratina is probably going to be physical, and for that reason I'm going to send in the Scrafty, and I'll switch in the Xerneas here, just because this Giratina might want to go for a Dragon type, a Draco Meteor or something. Rayquaza actually could take that quite well. And I almost want to go for an Icy Wind here just to slow down that Thunderous even more. So Thunderbolt comes out from the Thunderous, Draco Meteor doesn't pick up the KO, but do we get fully paralysed? We don't, and we hit both, so that's really nice. And what we can do here is we could go for a Helping Hand Icy Wind here, but I don't think that's going to do anything. We could go for a Helping Hand, or we could just go for a Flare Blitz onto the Thunderous, and we'll switch out the Rayquaza for Xerneas maybe. You may also want to Shadow Sneak as well, so let's actually switch out the Rayquaza for the Xerneas and try and preserve that for another time. So yeah, Flare Blitz KOs the Thunderous, which is nice. We don't take too much in recoil either. Shadow Ball there from the Giratina. We actually drop our special defense there, which isn't ideal at all. So Groudon, sorry not Groudon, Kangaskhan might want to come in here and spread some fake outs, as it does. And I feel what we can do here is send in Scrafty for the Arcanine, and we can protect the Xerneas here. And then we can use Fake Out next turn onto the Kangaskhan. I don't know if Scrafty will live anything on this turn. I feel like Giratina might want to attack into it. But Giratina actually switches out, so that's fine. So yeah, Kangaskhan goes for the attack there. And I feel like I want to go for a Fake Out onto the Ho-Oh. Well, I could go for a Fake Out on either one really. Let's go for it on the Kangaskhan, and we will Geomancy here. Let's go for that. So I've just had a notice here saying that the server is restarting soon, so we may actually only get one battle in. I can't remember if this is our first or our second one. I feel like this is our first. I think it is our first. So what we could do as well is just take a break until the server comes back up. So my opponent taking their time to think about their moves as well. They may want to predict a Fake Out into either one and switch in the Giratina, but they don't, so that's okay. And actually the Ho-Oh outspeeds us, so that's really interesting. And now what I want to do is switch in the Arcanine just to get more Intimidates off here, and we can protect the Xerneas. And I feel like that helps us out a bit more. And then if the Arcanine gets taken down, it's not really doing a lot against the rest of this team now, and we can switch in the Scrafty and Fake Out. So Sucker Punch doesn't do anything, and Brave Bird as well. Cool. So let's go for a Helping Hand, or we could go for an Extreme Speed here, or we could go for another Intimidate. So that's an interesting option. I feel like a Helping Hand, Dazzling Gleam will be the best option here. Yeah, let's go for that. Okay, so Ho-Oh actually lives that still after a Helping Hand, so very bulky on the special side. Actually crits us with a Brave Bird as well. So let's send in the Scrafty here, and we can Fake Out the Ho-Oh. Or we could Extreme Speed the Ho-Oh and get a knockoff into the Giratina, which I feel like is our best play. Extreme Speed the Ho-Oh, and we can knock off the Giratina. Yeah, let's go for that. So Extreme Speed picks up the KO. Shadow Ball into the Arcanine, that's perfect. Hopefully this does big damage. Doesn't do enough, because we've already knocked off something maybe. This either this Giratina isn't holding anything, or it's yeah. So what could we go for here? We'll go for an Icy Wind, and we'll go for a... Actually, we won't go for an Icy Wind, we'll go for a Dragon Ascent, and we'll go for a knockoff again. So Shadow Ball into the Scrafty actually doesn't take it out, which is perfect. And we win. Great, okay, good start guys. So that's our first game. I don't think I've been so happy to win a game for some reason. So that's our first win for the day. What we are going to do is take a quick break while this server resets. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to reset or how long it's going to be down for. It's just saying finish your battles quickly, no new battles can be started until the server resets in a few minutes. So yeah, see you guys in a few minutes where we'll carry on with our second and third games. See you in a bit. Okay guys, so looks like we're back. Sorry about the delay there. I think it's taken about maybe 15-20 minutes to actually get the server restarted. There are a few singles matches I could see that were going up to about 90 plus turns, which is interesting and I'm sure a very fun game to play. So our second game of today is going to be against a Groudon Xerneas team with Smeargle, Landorus and Kangaskhan and Cresselia. So almost a big C, with the Landorus replacing the Salamence, but still has that ice weakness. So quite interesting there. And yeah, I don't seem to do very well against Smeargle Xerneas leads, so that's something I want to put a stop to. Because every Smeargle has had Fake Out. So how do I want to prevent this? Maybe I could just stop the Smeargle and go for, what do you call it? Go for my own Scrafty and Xerneas, or maybe a Whimsicott Xerneas, and just basically play that game. But I always just feel like Scrafty and Whimsicott is a good lead. So I think we will just go for it and we'll try. We'll see if there's anything else we can do differently this time. Rayquaza is always very good, and Xerneas is as well. So let's just try. Let's see how we get on. The purpose of these videos is to experiment and see what I can do differently. So Kangaskhan comes out, and it can either fake out the Scrafty or the Whimsicott. Either way, we will be getting off a fake out ourselves. We could, no, Quick Guard doesn't do anything, that's what I need to remember. Yep. We could fake out the Xerneas, and we could Tailwind here. Yeah, let's go for a Tailwind, and then if Kangaskhan wants to fake out, we encore it. Xerneas protects, we can encore that. So we get the fake out off. Kangaskhan isn't wanting to go for any fake outs here. It's just a straight up return into the Whimsicott, which isn't enough to do anything because it stays in non-mega form. What we can do here is go for a low kick. Actually, can we go for a knockoff here? We can go for a knockoff here into the Xerneas. So let's do that. And we can go for a Moonblast into the Kangaskhan. So Kangaskhan actually switches out for Landorus. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about that. Moonblast actually does a lot. And Dazzling Gleam just takes us out anyway, so never mind. So that's quite interesting. Xerneas, I'm not sure what its speed stat is actually. It's something I need to look up. I thought it was, I don't know, it can go up to 166, so okay, it's max speed Xerneas, fine. Not much we can do about that really. So what we can do here is go for a Mega Evolve, Icy, oh no, I almost clicked Waterfall there. Go for a Mega Evolve Icy Wind here, hopefully that can take out the Landorus and it will slow down the Xerneas enough. And we can, let's go for a Geomancy here, why not? I feel like that's something we need to do. Icy Wind takes out the Landorus, which is nice, and the Xerneas gets the speed drop, so that's perfect. Let's Moonblast from the Xerneas into the Rayquaza, so that's cool. So Kangaskhan comes in here. What can we do here? We didn't actually Mega Evolve that turn, so that's not good. What we can do here is Extreme Speed the Xerneas, and we can Moonblast the Xerneas as well. Kangaskhan's probably going to want to go for a fake out here. Actually, let's go for a Dazzling Gleam here. We can go for a Extreme Speed into the Xerneas and a Dazzling Gleam. So actually fakes out the Xerneas, so maybe we should have gone for a Moonblast there, sorry, a bigger attack than Extreme Speed. But we can just Dazzling Gleam here again. See what my opponent wants to do. Actually, I feel like they might want to protect Xerneas. They don't really have a reason to do so though, so let's go for a... Yeah, we kind of just put ourselves into a bad position again there. Just, I don't know how. I need to really just watch these videos back and think, because I am just losing these matchups every single time, and these are the matches that Jamie Boyd said that we have the best time against, really, just anything that has a Groudon in there. So it is something I really need to think about and try harder for next time. So that sees us drop back out of the 1300s, and we'll try and finish up in the 1300s for this last game. Yeah, not good. I do really need to consider this lead matchup more. I think that's the only thing that's potentially lacking from team report videos, is how you lead against certain teams, because it's not something I tend to think about too much, and maybe that's what's letting me down, is what do I actually do to beat this team. So our last match here is against Wolfie Glick's World's team. General leads are Fake Out plus Kyogre, or yeah, that's usually a general lead, to be honest. Gengar we could also see here. So how do we want to deal with this? I feel like speed control is quite important here. What do we want to do? I feel like we can quite... Well, no, we don't want to lead Gyarados because of the Raichu. Let's lead Arcanine and Scrafty here. I feel like they do quite well against this team. I'm not really inclined to bring Whimsicott here because there's so much countering it. We'll have Rayquaza definitely in the back, and I feel like Xerneas is a good shout so long as we can get rid of the Gengar, which we should be able to do with Scrafty. So Gengar comes out, and Hitmontop comes out as well. So Hitmontop isn't going to do anything here. Obviously it can Fake Out. What I want to do is go for a straight Flare Blitz into the Gengar. I don't want to Fake Out the Scrafty. Sorry, I don't want to Fake Out the Hitmontop. What do I want to do then? Because Scrafty can't do... Well, it can go for a knockoff into the Gengar as well. So let's go for that Flare Blitz. Or we could go for a... Because this Gengar is actually Mega, so we can go for a Helping Hand knockoff here. So let's try that. This is a risky play because I could get faked out here, as I do. Yeah, okay. Fine. Yeah, not the best play there. We are trapped now. So let's go for a Flare Blitz. Actually, let's just go for... Yeah, let's go for a Flare Blitz onto the Gengar and a knockoff into the Gengar. And then Xerneas has a much better time when that Gengar isn't here. This Gengar might feel pretty safe in staying in because it hasn't seen much offense from the Arcanine going for a Helping Hand. So yeah, Kyogre comes in, fair enough. I guess something to expect there, really. And Scrafty gets burned as well, but the Lumberry cures that, which is nice. So Flare Blitz doesn't do anything. And knockoff comes out, so that's cool. What we can do is go for an Extreme Speed into the Kyogre, and we'll go for a Low Kick into the Kyogre as well. So we don't really have any speed control here. Maybe that's one thing I should have thought about, is the speed control. I think I said that when I started out, that one thing that would be important in this game is the speed control. So yeah, not good really, not good at all. How do we want to play this? We need to get rid of the Gengar. That's the main thing we need to get rid of here. So what we'll do is we will Mega Evolve, and we will Dragon Ascent into the Gengar. Actually, we'll Waterfall the Gengar. And Scrafty can't really do anything here, so we'll just try and go for a Low Kick into the Kyogre again. So Gengar gets the burn as well. So, okay, so Waterfall does absolutely nothing there. That's really frustrating. So my opponent here knowing what to do with the team really well. So what we can do is go for... Sorry, we need to switch into Xerneas because the Scrafty went down. So what we can do here is go for... How do we want to play this? Let's go for a Waterfall into the Gengar and a Protect here. Let's just get this Gengar off the field as much as we can. An Icy Wind might have been a better play here actually, yeah. So Icy Wind would have been so much better, because then we would have slowed down the Gengar, I think, enough for Xerneas to... Actually, I don't think Xerneas would outspeed. I think the best we can do here is go for a Dazzling Gleam and an Extreme Speed. So Sludge Bomb and Kyogre should go first. No, it doesn't go first, okay. But it's going to Ice Beam into the Rayquaza, okay. So Hitmontop comes out, I think, yeah. And it can either go for a Fake Out or a Feint. It may just want to go for the Feint and get the damage off, and for that reason I'm going to go for a Geomancy. It does go for Feint. So Dazzling Gleam picks up KO, but it makes it a 2-0 to my opponent there. So unfortunate few games there. I need to start thinking about how I'm going to lead with this matchup. I think this is obviously a team that's been made by Jamie Boyd, who is very creative and knows exactly what he can do and what he's capable of. And I think for someone like me, perhaps without the level of experience he has in VGC and with, I guess, very different, very niche teams like this, he's able to obviously pilot this team very effectively. So unfortunately, that is going to be another 2 losses for us in this game. In this video I should say, but you know, we'll try and take positives out of the win and look back on these videos as well and see what we can be doing to improve. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. As always, do feel free to subscribe if you're enjoying the content. I know we're not winning, but you know, hopefully there's something in here for you to watch and, you know, enjoy. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.